All right, all right. Um, all praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to apostles and elders in New York. Great Millstone. My name is Mayel Kala, Button Gap with Chicago branch of Great Millstone. All right, so you see this guy named Mr. Judge 61-7. All right, getting proved wrong all over again and stuff. Just like a box in the ring, the box all bruised up and issues coming out of him. He's spinning around his own, BL or OD, all dizzy and everything. What what's going on? So he don't even know that he's KO and stuff. He just because when you get knocked out, you actually dream. Because your body can't respond. So you go in a dream state. So like when you knocked out, you go into a dream state, and you actually think you're fighting. And this was going on with Mr. Judge 6167. He's knocked out, and he actually think he's winning the fight. Well, actually, he's knocked out. All right. So so he says right here, because you made up the 12 charts in your dodging, hence why it doesn't exist anyone else or anywhere else. Okay, let's see. Let's to prove that. All right, so I'm gonna go right here. It says section 107 of Copyright Act 1976 codified the doctrine of fair use, which allows limited use of copyright material without permission from the rights of the holder. It applies to purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. All right. So in this case, we're doing scholarship, research, criticism, comment, and teaching. All right. Because some of the videos I played got videos on upon other people. So, all right. And some of these channels are mine. All right. I'll let you know, but let me get this scripture right here about Mr. Judge. All right. Let me get there. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 15. It says, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearken unto counsel is wise. Right? This guy think he's right. Like I said, when somebody get knocked out, they dream. They actually think they're in a fight, swinging and stuff. All right. So here go right here. All right. Sorry, I read the disclaimer right here. All right. So here go right here. All right now. Hold on.
Those groups, but it does exist.
Now this is Sober guy. He's not our biggest fan, but watch his research. It says watch this and get this right here. I think it's in 12. Hold on for a minute. What is it? 12, 30. All right, hold on for a minute.
The history of the origin of Black Hebrew Israelites. Who was the person who started it, and why is it so integrated in the Black community?
Yeah, that's really interesting. So there's a group called One West that started, and
now he gonna fumble the history of Judah and here, but watch what comes up about the indigenous people. All right, watch this.
I think vocab is more of an expert than I am on the historical roots of it. But there's this group called One West that are based out of New York, I think it's Harlem. And that's kind of where it began among the African American community, if I can say it, American Black community. That's kind of where it began. And so I actually, in my historical research, have gone even before that in history. So when you go all the way back, I've dug up historical references to places like is it Argentina, I believe, somewhere in this. It's Argentina. There was a group there of native, indigenous Argentinians. This would have been back in the 1500s, 16th century, I think. That had a movement that decided or tried to teach that they were the lost tribes of Israel, that they themselves are Israel left. So one of the
now wait a minute, he just said what did he just say? This Mr. Judge 6167. This is what he's saying to me, because you made up the 12 chart on a dodge, hence why it doesn't exist anywhere else. Wait a minute, I thought it existed anywhere else. Oh man. Oh man. So you have some indigenous people, according to Professor Solberg, indigenous people of Argentina saying they are the Israelites. All right, so let's go right here on my old channel right here, GMS on the Maccabees. All right, so I'm gonna play this. All right.
All praises to
All right, so I'm gonna go to.
Yahweh Shai, the honors to Apostle Elders
All
in
right,
New
so here we go
York,
right here. Hold on for a
GMS,
minute.
and size.
Watch
Los
this.
Lunas stone that was found in New Mexico. The oldest rendition of the Ten Commandments was actually found in the lower 48 continental United States back in ancient times, right? And it's all written in Paleo Hebrew. So how would that be possible if you guys were here by yourself? Where would they get Hebrew from? Because that's what one of the language they were speaking.
About that is
All right, now I'm gonna get back to her. Now I'm gonna go to the brothers in GMS, Mississippi. All right, so I already read the disclaimer right here. All right, just going back. All right. All right. So this is fair use right here for Educate Research Region. Now this is the brother Kazak, and he's part of GMS Mississippi Camp. He also part of our camp here in GMS Chicago. All right, so this is him. Even though the video said 9 years ago, somebody uploaded this 9 years ago, but this happened actually 14 years ago. All right, so to go to brother right here, Elder Kazak. He went to Los Lunas, Mexico. All right. Unlike scoffers like Mr. Judge 617, who just run a mouth, all right, and use CJI for AI and spilling lies and misinformation on purpose. Don't bring out no scriptures, don't show no secular history or anything. Here we are on boots on ground going to these ancient sites, or particular Los Lunas Decla stone, and proving that we are the Israelites. Now watch this. And watch he translated from Hebrew, from the Paleo Hebrew, and translate to English to tell you all what it means. All right. The ancient Paleo Hebrew, Alashwan Kadash, right on this rock in Los Lunas, Mexico. All right.
Just all saying the same thing. You know, because some Hebrews say bashaw, you know, which means in vain. But it's saying the same thing, you know. But this is actually how you read it. It's going to say the same thing in the Hebrew. You know, we're going to get that in a little bit. Showing you saying the same thing. All right. Now, we're right here. And they have extra characters in here also. All right. It says Zakawar, which means remember. Ath, Yawam, day. Remember the day. HaShabbath, the Sabbath. All right. And it says La Quadashwa. All right. So remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. All right. Or holy it. All right. And right here, Kabad, honor, Ath, Abayaka. So honor your father. Abayaka, your father. Honor your father. Wa'ath and Amayaka, your mother. So honor your father and your mother. Lama'al, so that, all right, and you know, really it's supposed to say Lama'ain, all right, so that Ya'ar Ra Kawan, that will be long.
All right, so I'm gonna go back to the sister. Hold on for a minute. All right, now watch. All right.
So I always have these happenstance meetings, which I know they were designed that way, but a bunch of people that were,
And she make her come meeting these various people, man. All right, Yahweh said he sets that up so you could to verify that you are the Israelites, talking to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. I'll say our controls there. All right.
they were Jewish priests. They happened to get caught in a snowstorm, and we just happened to be at this restaurant, and they came in, and they don't eat hamburgers and things like that, but that's where they had to go. And so they sat at the table with us, and they were asking me, do you sing your language and everything? And they asked me to sing, and we're in this restaurant, and I'm like, okay. And so I sang a little bit for them, and the priests were just going, ah, they were like getting goosebumps and everything. And he was like, you know, the word that you say, weya, the heya, it's ancient Hebrew. It's a form of dialect that's illegal for us, that was illegal for us to speak.
See that? Illegal for us to speak.
All right, so I'm gonna fast forward. All right, so hold on. All right here.
Talking to me, she was invited by the Prime Minister of Israel to come over there with her drum group, and she was a chief, to go over to Israel to drum. And so when they went over there to drum, they began drumming, and the Prime Minister said, I want you to drum at the Jaffa Gate at 4 p.m. So they're like, not knowing, they went to the Jaffa Gate, they started drumming, and at 4 o'clock is when the Jewish priests, there were hundreds, came to the wall to pray. And instead of praying that day, they went around the drum, and they all began weeping and crying. And so the drum, they thought they were doing something wrong, so they quit. And then one of the priests, the chief asked, can I ask why you guys are crying? And the chief said, or the priest said, don't you know what you're singing? And they were like, don't you know, Weya means the one who brings forth springs of living water. Heya is to the all-existing one. And at that time, she was like, you know, in Canada.
Right.
All right, see that? All right, so she tell a story. She told her own story before. Now she telling a story of another so-called Native American sister, a Gadite sister, who went to Israel, spoke their language, sang a song. All right, and the people there start crying and everything. You have to remember, our people scattered amongst all people, even amongst you know, over there the you know, their folks. I'm gonna put it that way. All right. So, you know, there you go. All right. Let me play see this some more. Yep.
It does mean that, man.
All right. So it's into that.
All right, hey y'all.
All right. So wait a minute. I thought he said this wasn't accepted anyway. So even if, you know, people in Israel know that the indigenous people of America are Israelites. Also, they know the so-called blacks in America are Israelites. All right. So it ain't looking too good for you, Mr. Judge 617, man. All right, you all out in the ring, the hot light flashing your eyes and stuff. Not flat, you could get because you dreaming and stuff. Or like I said, when somebody get knocked out, all right, they have a dream, they think they fighting. You knocked out, man. In your dream, you swing, but really, you knocked out. All right. Well, as we say back in the day, a pumpkin head. You got a pumpkin head. You all swelled up, your eyes swelled up, everything's a pumpkin head. If you remember the episode of Martin, when he fight, I think that guy Herms. All right. All right. So remember he said this, I just proved him wrong in three incidents. All right. So three incidents, sorry. All right. So, you know, I'm a little tongue tied. All right. So he got proven wrong, man. All right. Now he like to say, and I did this on my site. Now he like to say we're radical Hebrew Israelites. We're a HATE group. All right, we RACIST, but he's not gonna call out them folks over there. And the good old Levant, he don't call out they bull crap. Now this is what they doing right here. All right. He ain't gonna say nothing about this.
What's your name? Shumu. What's your name? Who's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Amen. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? My name is
See that? How they mocked How they mocked people with demographic. And really, they were doing that click sound. And really, the Bantus of certain parts of like certain, like not certain, because many of the Bantus like Central Africa, then they go to South Africa. A lot of them Israelites too. All right, because they have a lot. You have a lot of broken Hebrew words in the Bantu language. They also fit the prophecies. All right, so he's mocking actual Israelites. All right, so you had the Israel knots mocking the actual Israelites, all up in dark face and stuff. But see, he ain't gonna rebuke them or nothing like that. Mr. Judge 6167 not gonna rebuke them. All right, hold on. I think I got something else. What else I have? Let me see. I had something else. Hold on for a minute. Let me get shorts. Oh yeah, this right here. All right, the nailed in the coffin right here. All right, so it goes sister from the Dene people, the so-called Navajo people of the Southwest United States. And while she walk up, this us teaching in 2016. All right. Now while she walk up and say to us, watch this. Yeah, she go right there. All right. Now, what did he just say? What did he say? He said, because you made up the 12 charts and you are dodging, hence why it doesn't exist anywhere. We ain't made up nothing, man. All right. We study this most Yahweh shall put the spirit on our elders, and the elders, our elders. All right, to get this knowledge from the scriptures. All right. Then our elders took it. The Most High added more knowledge to them. All right, because it said Daniel chapter 12, knowledge should increase, especially these days and last days. It's just paraphrasing. All right, so the elders taught us. We did our diligence research. All right, then we had witnesses coming. What is scripture out of mouth for 2 or 3 witnesses? All right, that's what scripture out of mouth 2 or 3 witnesses determine something true. All right. So don't get mad at us because we know the scriptures. We know the prophecies of these scriptures that's in the Bible. All right. That's in a Sapar. All right. That's an ancient way saying book in Hebrew. The book of Bible, the word Bible go back to Biblios mean book. All right. The correct way is Sapar, the ancient way in Hebrew. Biblios, they go back to Greek. All right. But don't get mad because we did our due diligence research, searching the scriptures, secular history. All right. People walking up, witnesses coming up, testifying that they are the Israelites. All right. We interview people. They tell us that we are the Israelites. I said we, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right. I'm going to play this again right here. There you go right there, man. Oh, man. It's not looking good at all for you, man. Mr. Judge 617. It's not looking good for you, man. All right, here go right here, 2 Corinthians chapter 13. Right? For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth, right? Nothing you could do against this truth, man. Mr. Judge 617, man, you in total error. In total error, man. You try to go the DNA route, I'll jump in the rabbit hole with you and got you with that. All right. Then you try to go onto the public opinion route. I jumped in and got you on that one. All right, man. Just as they saying, sister, go home, Roger. Yeah, all right. So go home, Mr. Judge 6167, man. When I mean go home, man, go somewhere, man. Go sit down somewhere, man. All right, you're not matched for Yahweh Shai, man. All right, who put the spirit in us to receive this knowledge. With that, shalom.